Hi guys, Geocaching Owen here. So today I'm in Buckinghamshire, I'm in Risborough, which is apparently the oldest parish in England, dating back since 903. And there's two multis, both have to do with the church, which is behind me. The church, it dates back to the 14th and 15th centuries, and I have to look around some tombstones, I believe. So one multi is going to take about an hour, and the other one says it should take about 10 minutes. So I'm going to go around searching for clues and then find the coordinates and find the caches. So I've been searching, guessing the coordinates. So I've been searching for details outside the church. I've got the coordinates for one of the multi-caches. I've still got to find some more information on the headstones outside, but I thought I'd come inside the church. So this is a 14th to 15th century church, I believe, and one of the cool things about small churches is they leave them open for people to come inside. So there's the belfry there, so all the bells inside, and here you can see that the church is made out of flint. Down here is actually a font, a Norman font that dates back to the 12th century and probably predates this church. So they believe that that font was actually in a church before this church existed, and they moved it in. So you've got the pulpit and the altar up there, and quite a nice looking organ. So it's quite nice just to come into a church and look around the history. So I think I'll continue looking for the coordinates outside before it starts getting dark. It's very cool just looking. So I think I've got all the information for the caches. So the first cache, which was a church micro, you had to go around and count all the yew trees. So that's the tree behind me there. Go around the church and count all the vents, and then you had to go to a military grave and get the age of the soldier that died in the First World War. So during that, I realised that that might be one of the yew trees, or an ex-yew tree, so it might mean my coordinates are slightly off, so I need to double check that. And the other cache was a monk's trail. So I had to go around all the different headstones and get information from them, and I've got all that, and I think that's all correct. So I'm just going to work out the coordinates and grab the two caches. I've worked out ground zeros for both caches. It turns out that the yew tree number didn't really matter to the actual final coordinates. There's only about a couple of metres in it. So I realised that there's a sidetracked cache nearby, so I'm just going to grab that one, and then I'll get on to grabbing the multi-caches. It's just near the railway bridge. I've come over to this gasworks, so it does smell quite a bit, and just round here is the cache. So I think it's just a film pot in a carry bag. Not the best area to cache, but I'll get the log out, sign it, and move on to the two multi-caches. put the coordinates in, and I was using Google Maps, and it took me to the field next door, and there was loads of barbed wire fences, so I had to take about a 20-minute detour. I think I'm near ground zero, so I'm going to just start searching now and show you the cache. Found the cache. So the hint was down low to the left of the multi-trunk tree, so I was looking around this tree for quite a while, and then spotted something that looked a bit peculiar, so just get the cache out. I can see there's a travel bag inside. Here it is. Just open it up. Got a log, travel bag, and some other goodies. So I'll sign the log and pop it back for the next person to find. So I'd logged the travel bug, I discovered it, and then I realised that this cache is only found about 5 times a year. So I'm going to grab it and move it on to the other multi-cache, which I think is found a bit more, because the clues are a bit easier to find. So I'll move it on there, so hopefully it can carry on its mission. So just walking over to the Church Micro multi-cache. So it's a bit of a walk, but quite a few fields to walk through. So I think this is actually a horse pen, which has got a public path running through it. Kite up there. So good thing about living in Buckinghamshire is that you get lots of red kites. So it's a bird of prey that was reintroduced around the Chilterns. They seem to be thriving around here at the moment. So just walking over to a multi-cache for the Church Micro now. So just found the Church Micro cache. It seems to be a plastic container wrapped in parcel tape. So I'll open up and see what's inside, and I'll probably leave the trackball I picked up from the other cache in here, which is found a bit more regularly. So in here you've got the logbook, another trackball, and a few other small toys and whatnot. So I'll sign log and I'll add the other trackball into the pile. So now there's 2 trackballs in here. And I'll probably leave one of my personalised swag tokens in here as well. So I've got the 2 multi-caches and the sidetracked cache, and there's a few more traditional caches in the area. So I'm going to quickly grab them before popping back to the car. It's been quite a long day. Been several hours of caching, and so far only 3 caches. That's because the 2 multi-caches took a while to grab the coordinates, and ground zeros were quite far away from the actual church. So just walking up now to grab a traditional cache which is nearby. So at the bottom of Whiteleaf Hill and Cross, so up there is a chalk carving, and just down here is a small geocache, or micro geocache. So I'll get a log out, sign it, and put it back for the next person to find. So at the bottom of the Whiteleaf Cross, so it's a chalk carving in the cliff, or in the side of a hill. It's basically a triangle with a cross on top. I'll try and get an image of it a bit further away, not at the bottom of it. But at the top of the hill is a barrow, a Neolithic barrow. So it's from 4000 BC, and they found one body inside. It was a middle-aged man. He had arthritis and worn down teeth. So I'll try and get to the top and show you a barrow and the views from the top. Here is the cross portion of the carving. So here's the cross, goes down from the triangle, and there is Buckinghamshire. So I've been down in Monk's Risborough. I think down there is Prince's Risborough. I'm going to continue up to find the Neolithic barrow. So it's a bit dark now, but here's the barrow. So inside they found a 5'6" to 5'9" male, with an arrowhead. That was the common in Neolithic times. They also found some pottery shards and some animal bones. They excavated it in the 1930s, and they excavated it at the beginning of the millennium as well, with the help of Oxford University. But it's a bit dark now, so I think I'll call it a day. So I found 2 multi-caches and 2 traditional caches, the sidetracked cache and the one at the bottom of the chalk carving. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. See ya!